McDonald's and Doodles big collab
big.
announcement this week. Tell us about it.
So my favorite topic, NFTs, they're back. So on Tuesday, November 12th, McDonald's teased a Doodles collab. The collab was just a 7-second video, cartoon, a cartoon hand picking up a coffee cup, and there's an outline of a doodle below it. Today, it's November 14th. Doodles officially announced that they will be partnering with McDonald's for the holidays. There will be about 100 million limited edition cups. So it'll be McCafe, the coffee cups, times Doodle holiday cups. It will be Doodles imagery all around the cups. And it will actually say Doodles on the cups too, which I actually think is really, really huge.
I think one thing for people who might not know, maybe a little just context on Doodles.
Yeah. Doodles was one of the, I would say, original big NFT projects. So it was released by two people who originally worked for Dapper Labs in Vancouver. And
Vancouver shout out there. You can't help yourself.
And so it was really, really, really well received. They went through a lot of iterations. Again, I don't want to say exactly the highest price that it reached because right now it is at around 2.5 ETH, but significantly higher than that. They did raise $54 million over 2 years ago at over $700 million valuation. So they've had money to sustain themselves through the quote unquote bear market. They have really pivoted to be an entertainment company. That's what they've wanted to brand themselves as. They put in the former president of Billboard as their CEO.
And it's like little funny animated
cartoony
little guys with silly
literal
round
doodles. Colorful, pastels, really fun, very kid-friendly. They have Pharrell as their chief branding officer. And so they've really moved into that side of things. They've released music with Pharrell, with Lil Wayne, with Lil Yachty, with Coi Leray. So really trying to expand, obviously, beyond Web3. It's been basically in terms of how the NFTs have related to Doodles, it's really been you get early access to the music, things like that. And so the McDonald's, it doesn't necessarily on the surface really immediately relate to their entertainment kind of spin of things. I love it, obviously. I mean, you couldn't get bigger. And so essentially what they've officially announced is they've tweeted pictures of the coffee cups. You'll have the really cute doodle cartoons on McCafe coffee cups.
100 million McCafe coffee cups.
Across the US. What we've also discovered is that you will also be able to, through specifically ordering through the McDonald's app, which unfortunately I've never had the pleasure of using, maybe now, that you will be able to access and stream the Doodles movie. There's not full details released, but I do know they're working on a short film, and there'll be an exclusive collection of McDonald's times Doodles digital apparel for your Doodles avatar. No real info on that Doodles avatar and no mention of NFTs.
Okay. So your avatar like in the McDonald's app or like on Twitter? Where do you think, if you were to guess?
Good question. I don't know how the McDonald's app works, if there's like an identity component to it. Maybe you'll be able to have your identity dress your little Doodles avatar in your app. I know that it is collectible in the sense that it seems like you'll be able to collect several different outfits. And there'll also be a limited edition run of physical merch showcasing some of the Doodles characters. So I also wonder, I mean, Pudgy Penguins does this, if there was the idea that Doodles owners are able to put forth their actual doodle to be featured so that they can kind of gain a following for that particular one. I'd be interested in the licensing and IP aspect of all of this too.
It's so interesting. It's clearly a huge win for Doodles. Huge distribution at a scale that I don't think any other Web3 company has seen, at least in America. Maybe overseas there's been some other examples, but certainly in America, 100 million cups on all the kiosks. That's a crazy amount of eyeballs and attention that I don't think we've seen that scale yet. So huge win for Doodles.
Massive.
I guess when I'm in McDonald's seat, I am wondering like why they would do this kind of like it feels like I guess the IP is really strong in that the visuals are really cute and there's these characters that people identify with, but it's not as though they have recognition outside of the bubble that we're in. And so for their customers, seeing these characters, there's not like a warm and fuzzy that they'll feel. And so, yeah, I'm just like, it's an interesting move from McDonald's. And maybe it's just like experimentation, but it's experimentation at a scale that is pretty big.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, I think the only thing that maybe could be compared to this is the Pudgy Penguins getting in Walmart. And having
Right.
a feature kiosk in Walmart, the feature palette in Walmart. Very different experience, obviously.
Yeah.
But what it seems like the people from McDonald's have said is Doodles is an entertainment brand. We chose them because they're an entertainment brand. I wonder if McDonald's is also wanting to move in and experiment with Web3, and this is the beginning of some larger tests. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. And building your identity in app through these collectibles, that maybe makes sense. And the idea of, I mean, it's way cheaper for McDonald's than, giving Happy Meal toys. Like if you can get something digital,
True.
that just makes so much sense from an identity and just from like a consumer perspective with kids and having that loyalty there. So I wonder if it's that, I go, oh my gosh, kids could collect things, move them into Roblox. Like there's just so many things that you can do on the Web3 rails that you cannot do anywhere else. So it makes sense that McDonald's would be exploring it. It's really interesting that they're doing it with Doodles. I know, they're incredibly connected in terms of who works for them with Julie and the whole team there.
I can see it. I mean, I have an 8-year-old and he will collect anything that he can. I have always felt like a little disconnected from the fashion collectible product or experience because it's just not something that I've ever personally wanted to do. But with kids, I'm like, I totally see it. He would do anything he could to get stuff into whatever he felt like his wallet was. So
yeah,
that part of it makes sense if McDonald's is like, okay, is this the new frontier for how we want to be thinking about rewarding or surprising and delighting a certain new kind of consumer? I guess it's like, it just still goes back to me where it's like, it is an entertainment brand for sure. And I think it's a really strong entertainment brand. There's no recognition of it. And so it's trading then on the strength of these little characters for McDonald's. And that's really great. And that's, I think, a huge testament to the IP that they've built, Doodles, but it's crazy. It's a huge win for them. I'm really happy for that team.
I know, it's fantastic. And just in terms of the actual price action, it has doubled since the announcement. So it's been sitting at like 1 to 1.4 ETH-ish, and it's now at around 2.5. So when it comes to the actual NFT holders, I also wonder how they will be impacted or how they will be involved, if at all, and how that piece will be brought in.
Do you hold a Doodle?
I have held Doodles. I do not hold one now.
Alas.
I know, and I never sell.
You're not a big seller.
Never sell. And and now I regret it, but here we are. See, that's why I don't sell. You can't lose or win if you don't sell.
Exactly.
The motto.